Victorian Premier Ted Baillieu followed up on a pre-election promise last week by outlining changes his Liberal government intends to make to ensure that breeding facilities statewide would not only be better managed and regulated, but could also come under harsher legislative penalties if they are found in breach of animal cruelty laws. Unfortunately, no such legislation is in the works for New South Wales. Currently, if the RSPCA or any other animal rights organisation finds and gathers evidence of a rogue breeding facility in operation, their only legal course of action is to assess the situation and then refer the matter to their local council. Australia-wide, we are in the grip of an animal mistreatment pandemic. The breeding of companion animals, especially dogs, across the nation is highly unregulated and plagued with awful breeding facilities known as puppy farms. Oscar's Law, founded and run by Deborah Tranter, is an organisation that seeks the abolishment of puppy farming nationwide. Kate Kearney is the new founder of the New South Wales branch of Oscar's Law.
My name's Kate Kearney, and I first became involved with Oscar's Law after viewing some puppy farm raids on YouTube. I currently work at Wags to Whiskers boarding kennels in Londonderry, where I'm a kennel hand. The goals of Oscar's Law is to abolish the factory farming of dogs, ban the sale of live pets in pet shops online and in the media, and insist that government run a proper campaign on responsible animal care. So far, Oscar's Law New South Wales has only had one event, which was recently at the RSPCA Million Paws Walk. We had about 20 supporters there, all wearing their t-shirts and handing out flyers, which Deborah Tranter actually came from Melbourne to attend. So that was a very successful event for the first time.
Kate believes that Australians in general are mostly unaware of the shocking conditions animals are kept in and the prevalence of these animals in mainstream pet shops like Pets Paradise.
They are denied a veterinary care, their fur is often matted, stained with urine. A lot of them get eye infections, which results in them losing their eyesight and, an eye. A lot of them get mammary cancer from being bred, and they're just in appalling conditions. Their kennels never get cleaned. They sometimes don't even have adequate food, adequate water. They often don't even get blankets for their bedding. So they're treated purely as money-making machines. And that's not how our companion animals should be treated.
Aside from the astounding cruelty inflicted on animals in puppy farms, there are also long-term medical and behavioural ramifications for these dogs. Zane Zhu is a vet based in Sydney and is strongly opposed to the unethical breeding of dogs.
There's quite a number of health issues, impacts on dogs that come from puppy farms. So big issues are when dogs are housed in large numbers together. There's often hygiene issues, feeding issues. You've got increased prevalence of diseases. Things like fleas and worms are very easily spread to each other. It's also very difficult to keep track of individual dogs' well-being, just by virtue of having so many dogs in the one place.
Zane also sees the effects on puppies that are mass-produced in these filthy, chaotic environments.
Also, growing up in crowded conditions again leads to things like worms and fleas and viral diseases being quite easily passed to each other. So the puppies may not be getting enough food if there's so many of them around, and just not growing as well as they should be, really.
Deborah Fitzgerald, a travel agent from Sydney, experienced firsthand the medical ramifications for a dog that is born in a puppy farm and sold in a pet shop.
Our first schnauzer came from a well-known breeder, and he is a purebred, he's perfect, no health issues, great dog. The second schnauzer we purchased, we unfortunately have no knowledge of his history, his lines. And in fact, Rolly was very, very ill dog, and his liver was completely shot. And the reason he'd been growling was that he was in severe pain. He'd been off his food, he'd lost a lot of weight, and that the only humane thing to do would be to have him put to sleep. He was 18 months old, and we decided we would go with that option because we didn't want to have him in pain.
Both Deborah Fitzgerald and Kate Kearney are advocates for ethical and safe breeding of dogs in Australia. Until legislation is passed that ensures the proper and responsible treatment of animals, they are very specific about where it is safe for people to purchase a new addition to their family.
If you are looking to purchase a puppy, then really you should be going to a breeder. That way you'll know where the puppies come from, you'll know the lines of the puppy, you'll be able to hopefully go and have a look at where it's coming from, the facilities. All of these things play a part in the health and the behaviour of your dog. So long term it's a good thing to do. It's the only thing to do because you don't want to go through what we went through. So I would not advocate impulse buying of a dog. It's an investment in your family and I don't think it's a very smart move.
We definitely recommend getting puppies from registered, reputable and ethical breeders from your kennel association. Yeah. Or, of course, giving a rescue dog a second chance at life.